Howdy, my friends. Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Today I'm going to show you some bouncing stuff. No, we're not watching an old Dolly Parton video. We're actually going to be playing something where our picking hand, right hand, left hand, whichever you use a pick on, we will not be strumming up and down. We'll be on this hand doing mainly walking patterns and hammer-ons and pull-offs within that whole thing, you know. But at the same time, we'll be doing, adding all that stuff in, but our picking hand will not be doing that. It will be a bouncing. When you see me licking, my pick is a sticking. So that's what's going on there. So we're actually going to bounce away from the guitar like this, like directly over the sound hole with our pick. Okay, so it will sound something like this. That kind of a thing. So that's really cool when you get past being the lead singer or just whatever you're doing, if you're just jamming at home. But instead of that gets old, so it's nice to be able to go. Okay, that kind of stuff's cool, especially if you get into bluegrass and you need a good solid rhythm going on and you're not quite a flat picker yet. You're not doing that stuff. Then the rhythm needs to be there, and if you can provide the percussion by that gives you the way of doing that instead of that gives you 1/4 of the percussion sound. So it's just a nice thing to have in your arsenal. So I did say in your arsenal and not your arsehole. Okay. Those across the pond know what I'm talking about. I'm sure the rest of you do here too. So let's get in on this thing, alright? Okay, so this looks like about the best angle for this, so you can actually see. So okay, so it's just a hit down, and you're probably going to go to G to begin with, and okay, so let's just do that much to get our bounce going, and then we'll get the rest together. So we'll just hit 3rd fret on the low E string, so give us a G. Put the whole G chord there. I make a 4-finger G chord. I just like it better. You do whatever happens. We're trying to get mainly this hand going. Okay, so let's just try to go down. See, pick the string, down, up. See exactly where I'm playing it, right over top of the sound hole. And what's going to happen is it can be as loose or as tight as we want to. By loose, when we get there, it can be like the chord going along. You can hear the underlying things that you want to play, even if they're not what I'm playing. But it still has like the whole chord being played within it, like. And tight would be. You know, even I'm out of practice there. So that's more of a tight thing. So whichever you want to do, all that has to do with is how much of the chord you're letting ring. So you're either pushing down on the high strings or you're not. Okay, if you're just letting up on them instead of pushing down on them, everything else will become a lot less. You'll still probably hear the sounds of those other strings that you're hitting, but they'll just be the clicks that keep the rhythm going. Okay, so more of the percussive drum sounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get that. We'll go through just on G, and we'll go through on another one in A, since it'll have pretty much the same chords in it. We'll have a D and an E, which I will use in G, of course, if I'm using my 2s and 4s and 6 chords and so forth, but making them all major. As far as this one, we're going to use the 3rd fret on the 6th string, 2nd on the A string, open on the D, then hammer on, pull off, 2nd fret on the D string. So that's it. And I like to actually, after that, because I like to play some fast licks in here, maybe like the 3rd or 4th time around, go after this, do the same thing on the string above it on the A. Okay, you'll see with my bouncing hand, I'm only hitting the string one time. Okay. There's a good way, so. Okay, and you can see where playing it all the time would get old, so I would do something myself like. You know, use it like somewhere there too. That one, since we're back to G again, was. So you're doing the same thing on the D string. Now doing the same thing on the G string this time. Then back on D again. So that was. So the other one there, because I'll just give you licks all day long, was going up to the 3rd fret on the D string. Okay, so that's just same thing with this. Exactly the same thing on the C. Okay, exactly If you want to do that to get up to the D, we're just going 2, 3, 4 on the A string, then the D chord. You can go from D, 4th fret here on the A string, C, which is just D, so jump right back in on that 3rd fret, so which is 3, 2, open, then G chord. And that one there is just strictly going from G to D string. I'm sorry, G note on the low E string 3rd fret, and then open D string. And that there's going to the D string also. So the C note, or you can go to the G string like we were doing with the G and the D. You can go to the C and have the open G string, or you can do it this way now. Okay, stuff I already showed you, but I actually did all 3 strings, the G, D, A, and then finally G again. So it's like, that comes pretty cool, and it all comes real easy with the part we're supposed to be concentrating on. Well, I guess we got to do both to concentrate on, but why I'm sitting sideways so you can see this bounce thing. So again, let's do the bounce slow with, get back in, I hear myself. Okay, so it's just a constant bounce. And back. Full circle back to just that G note. And best way to practice this are the licks that I've shown you so far, and just do them slow, build them up to speed so you have. And I'm doing it a little bit open there by playing those notes. Okay. Okay, and again, if you want to close it up, just quit pushing on the other notes. Sorry. Okay, so I would practice them both equally, with it ringing out and with it not, just to make sure you have definition that your hands are landing in the same place and you don't have that comfort of having like a pinky down or something. You know, some of us do this. We don't have that comfort zone anymore. So you gotta really be on it, which I'm not. Here goes my squeaky wheel. If you ever wonder what that is, it's the world's worst drum throne. Okay, there we go. So in the key of G, I told you I was going to stick in a couple other chords. I'm going to stick in an A and an E. Okay, so just to show you someplace else to go, and then I'm going to stick you in the key of A, so that we already have, you know, the A and the E part covered. Okay, so when we're in this G thing, so you can throw those other chords in there. And if I'm going fast, and I'll actually come up with another not a progression, but another way of throwing those in and where I put them in. So I'll put the bounce in nice and strong so you can see it, and then put the chords in a different place as far as the A and the E. E minor. That one is okay, so basically I would do an open G string, open D string, okay, because it's not making much difference if you're just stroking up on the G and the D string only. So down, then down again for each of the bass notes, I'll call them. So you only skip the 4th fret when you're coming back down. So you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, open G. Okay, so that progression again is in G, C, G, D, G, C, G, A, D, C, G, E minor. Okay, so whatever you want to do with that. But anyway, use, when you get along with this, all the little licks and tricks you have picked up from me, for a while, because you can, use all these. You're like, when have I learned that? Oh, there's about 30 different lessons where that's in there. And that's just same thing on every single string. Okay? You're like, can that work there? See, works perfect. So just keep that bounce going. Okay, very cool. Okay, now let's just do it in E. Okay, this here's actually cool because we have the low open strings. Because we have that kind of stuff. And yes, I'm going to throw them in. You can work on throwing them in. Let me get at an angle here. Sorry about that. The angle of my dangle is equal to the hypotenuse of my... Wait, I flunked math. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to the E string and then to the A string using the E major chord. So that's a hammer on the A string. I'm still doing the, okay. So I'm trying to keep it so there's no strumming going down this way. I don't ever put scratch marks on my guitar, ever. No pick guard, because there's no reason to, ever, if you play correctly. I know Willie Nelson's is full of holes, but am I going to tell Willie he's playing wrong? Yes, I'll tell him he's playing wrong, even though he's rich and all that stuff. But yeah, your guitar should not look like that and should not have to be put together with barbed wire and coat hangers and duct tape 5 times a year to keep it going. Okay, anyway, back to reality. With this, so again, as open, or closed up as you want it. When it's closed, and you make a smaller little area, but you're trying to smack more on the guitar, you get a lot more controlled rhythm, and it starts to sound like that train beat. If you want it to, you can go. Instead of okay, so that's okay, so you hit one note, then right away with your hammer-on pull-offs on the A string, D string, same thing, A string, same thing, then back to E. So it's that quick, actually, so really slow. Let me get it just right for the beginning. Okay. forgot to add my bounce, but yeah, it'll be. Okay. Okay, so you can actually put it together real quick like that and hit them strong. You know, that could be a little lick to be the main riff of a tune. Okay, so if we're doing E and A like we've just got ready to do, so E, let's just do this. Okay, so that's going to be 0, 2, 4 on your E string. So A string, E string, they're both open. Just backward. To B7, or you can go, which is generally what I would do, going up to the 4th fret on the low E, open A, 2nd fret with my, first fret with my 2nd finger, middle finger on the A string, and then bring it up, and that gives me enough time to build the rest of the B7 around it, which is, once you get that middle finger there, just skip a string each time. So you have a 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret. Then you just put your first finger on the 1st fret on your D string. And that's your B7 chord for those who don't know it. Okay, that's if you guys can get that. And get that middle finger moving up and down here, so you got root, 5th. So you can see how much you need to use it. Should you use a regular B chord? No, B7 is necessary because it's a stupidly important thing. And in this kind of music where you would be using the bounce, yeah, it needs to be there. 7th chords all the way, especially on the 5 chord. So if you're in E, yeah, it's going to be the B. Before we were in the G, C, G, like D7, G7, C, G, D7. G7, I mean, as many as you can stick in. Very cool. Don't use them on the 4 chord though. So if you're like G, C, not very good. G7, D7, those are all nice. But yeah, B7 definitely for this. So if you want that lick, otherwise you can go. Okay. That's you can do that. Okay, so that's just as quick as I want. I did put all that in there. It covered 2 whole bars, but it's in there and it's very cool. So it's just a matter of what you want to put into it. You can put as little or as much as you want, but the main thing is so your hand is slamming into the guitar or slamming into the strings. Don't slam it into the pickup back here in the bridge, because it'll be, you know, you can go that kind of thing. But that's kind of sensitive. Okay, so we have the E, the A, and the B7. that's just, then 4, 2, open, then A, E, F sharp major, B7, A, E, and now from E we'll go to C sharp minor. Okay? And then E, B, okay, so that's that. Folks, there you go. We've been bouncing and bebopping and doing all that stuff we had to do. Anybody need to take a look at the shirt today? Come on, get down there, kids. There we go. Let y'all read that for a little while. And you can get these on Fleabay or whatever. But yeah, gotta buy more guitars. Why? Went and did taxes today, so that's why. Claim them, claim them, claim them. Tools of the trade. Find a way to do it. Alright? And yes, I'm not making near what I used to make back in the good old days. About 1/10 of it. Why? Because I taught you all how to have guitar channels. You're all monetizing them. I'm not. I'm keeping my promise. So, am I having money come in? No, but I still love doing it. Okay. Hope you guys learn your bounces, enjoy your bouncing, and vigorously enjoy your bouncing. Because when you get to my age, it's more like dragging instead of bouncing. You'll see what I mean. Okay, you guys stay groovy. I'll stay in bed for the rest of the night and put this up on there and hear your comments in the morning, I hope. Okay? Herpy trails. Bye.